You know that old saying about judging books by their covers? Well, I've got a new one. Don't judge the 2015 Dodge Charger by its styling. And whether you love the Charger's cartoonish, muscular body or not that's taken from the smaller Dodge Dart, there's more to this full-size sedan than meets the eye. It may look like a young boy's four-door fantasy, but the Charger is actually one of the best large sedans you can drive or buy. So, let's go ahead and check it out. Now essentially there is many updates for the 2015 model year of the Charger, most notably being in styling. You have these new projector headlights and then also some LED daytime running lights and LED turn signals for a much more clean and fresh look. You also do have a redesigned shark fin antenna, and then also you have the signature LED racetrack lamps that were on the 2014 Charger, but this time around it's been rounded out a little bit more to have a family resemblance in the Dodge lineup. The 2015 Charger line also grows with the addition of the Hellcat model, a rip-snorting 700 horsepower performer that redefines the muscle car sedan. Now unfortunately we don't have the Hellcat model here, but we do have the RT Plus model with the 5.7 liter Hemi V8. Now personally I'm a big fan of the styling. I think it still has a very muscular presence while still being pretty modern and fresh looking. Now you do have a white exterior with smart key access on the driver's door and the front passenger door. It also has a full black leather interior. Your power driver's seat with power recline and power lumbar too. Now stepping on into the vehicle here, it's a fairly low step-in height, but what I'm noticing here is that the vehicle is pretty wide, I have to say. But this is a full-size sedan, of course. And I'm a really big fan of the new interior of the Charger. Most notably, I'm really a big fan of this new steering wheel that they put on the new Charger. Now you do have push button ignition. Just put your foot on the brake and hit the button to start, of course. And like I said, what you're hearing is that 5.7 liter Hemi V8. Of course, you have a full leather wrap steering wheel. Very thick steering wheel rim, nice grip, love it. Now coming to your transmission, you have a new 8-speed automatic. You also do have a new gear shifter too. Manual shiftability, and you do have paddle shifters. Putting the vehicle into reverse displays your rear view camera, of course, with guidance lines. And you also do have rear parking sensors, as you can hear it. And let's go ahead and turn on the lights and the hazards too. The driver's window and front passenger window are fully automatic in the Charger. And let's go ahead and pop up the hood and check out the engine bay. Heated exterior mirrors with blind spot detection. You also do have these 20-inch polished aluminum wheels. High-intensity discharge headlights with your LED fog lights and LED daytime running lights and LED turn signals. Now under the hood here, you have a 5.7 liter Hemi V8 producing 370 horses at 5250 RPM and 395 pound-feet of torque at 4200 RPM, with the EPA estimates being 16 in the city and 25 on the highway. And you do have rear-wheel drive, with all-wheel drive being optional. Now your optional powertrains include a 3.6 liter V6, this 5.7 liter V8, and then a 6.4 liter V8 as well as the 6.2 liter V8 that's found in the Hellcat model. Now essentially, the Charger is one of the only few full-size sedans available with a V8 under the hood. Of course, this is definitely more than enough power for your daily commute. Now, competitors of the Charger, you have the Ford Taurus, the Nissan Maxima, Toyota Avalon, Chevrolet SS, as well as the Chevrolet Impala. Now, trims of the Charger start at the SE trim, which starts at $27,995. The SXT starts at $29,995. The RT starts at $32,995. And then the SRT Hellcat starts at $62,295. Coming to the rear, you have full LED tail lamps with LED turn signal indicators and integrated tailpipes, dual exhaust tubes, and rear parking sensors. And a rear window defroster too, of course. Love the new look of the Charger. You also do have a little rear spoiler at the top too. Like I said, it is much more rounded off for the 2015 model year. Looks more like the smaller Dodge Dart in the rear. Now, like I said, EPA estimates are 16 in the city and 25 on the highway. Total vehicle price for this particular one is only $36,585. I was expecting it to be much more. Nice soft touch armrests. Nice premium stitching on the mid-door panel. Nice and soft to the touch on the upper door panel too. Power windows, power mirrors, power door locks too, of course. Memory seat settings for 2 people. And let's go ahead and rev it up. Oh man, you definitely won't get that kind of sound out of a Toyota Avalon or a Nissan Maxima. Now, as far as build quality materials go inside of the Charger here, it's pretty good. Nice soft touch materials up here on the dashboard. Build quality is okay, but it can be a little bit better. For the most part, there is pretty solid construction here, much better than how it was 8 years ago when the Charger first came out. But overall, build quality and materials are okay. But for example, down here, there's a little bit of panel gap, as you can see. It doesn't fit well together. But it's pretty good for the most part. It's much better than how it was in the past. Now, as far as the seats go, they're pretty comfortable for the most part. Pretty supportive too. But they're very big and wide, I have to say. Now, as far as visibility goes, you have a decent amount of side glass area on the front windows. However, outward visibility can be a little bit better. And then you also do have some pretty limited rearward visibility due to that huge C-pillar back there. And that's always been a Charger trait and a Chrysler 300 trait, which the Charger is based off of, its platform mate. They've always had pretty poor rearward visibility. Now, coming down here, you have a little storage cubby, 12-volt power outlet too. And then you also do have a little storage cubby right here. And then it just has to say Dodge Brothers, designed in Detroit. And then you have your cup holders right here with a sliding lid. Down in the center console storage area, you have an auxiliary input, USB port, and an SD card slot. Decent amount of center console storage too. And then coming up here, you have roadside assistance, and then an auto-dimming rearview mirror, garage home link, interior illumination lighting, and then your sunglass container. The headliner is also pretty high quality too, nice and plush. Now coming to the main center stack here, this lower portion is for your AC, and then this upper portion is many other different things. I'm so surprised about how Chrysler keeps their controls so simple and clean looking. I just love it. And this is how all cars should be, to be honest. And luxury cars tend to have very complicated controls, but this Dodge Charger keeps it very simple and clean looking. Now you have dual zone automatic climate control, your temperatures, fan speeds, front window defroster, rear window defroster, and then your recycling. Easy as that. And I love how the buttons are also not touch sensitive, and sometimes they don't work the best, to be honest. Now coming to your main head unit here, you have the Uconnect touchscreen interface, and most of the touchscreen is going to be controlled by the screen itself. And then you have these buttons down here for your volume and then your tune knob, but that's pretty much it. The responsiveness of the touchscreen is superb. I love how quick and fast it is. Coming to your different media sources, you have Bluetooth, streaming audio, auxiliary input, USB port, and then your SD card slot. Then your radio, AM, FM, and XM satellite radio too, of course. Then coming to your controls, you have other controls like your heated and ventilated front seats, heated steering wheel, and then you could turn the screen off. Then coming to your climate, you can also control the climate if you don't want to go down here. One of the best systems in the business, and this Uconnect system is just so intuitive, so user-friendly. It's very easy to figure out. Then coming to your phone, you have your Bluetooth hands-free calling, of course, all that great stuff. And then Uconnect apps. You have many different apps you can access, like AHA, Pandora, and iHeartRadio. And then you have a Wi-Fi hotspot on this bad boy too. Coming up here, you have your exterior temperature readout, and then you also do have your compass right there, and then your digital clock. I love how big the buttons are too as well. I love how they're not, scrunched in. Now coming to the steering wheel, like I said earlier in the video, I love the new steering wheel design. More modern looking, and I love the grip and the thick steering wheel rim. Coming over here, you have your voice recognition, Bluetooth phone controls, and then these controls right here control your little center screen right there. Coming over here, you have your cruise control buttons, and then these set of buttons right here will be for your optional safety technologies, like lane departure warning and adaptive cruise control. Now coming to your gauge cluster, I love the gauges and how big and bold the font is. And then I love how it matches the rest of the interior with the red. Now coming to your TFT instrument cluster here, basically it's going to show you various amounts of vehicle information. The rendering of the instrument cluster is pretty good, I have to say. And then it shows you what gear you're in, and then your exterior temperature readout, and then your fuel gauge too. Then you have your trip odometer, your average fuel economy data, vehicle info such as your tire pressure monitoring, then your coolant temperature, transmission temperature, oil pressure, then your oil life. Then you have your digital speedometer too, and then you could switch to kilometers. Then you have your screen setup. But overall, I really love this system, and like I said, it is controlled by these set of buttons right here. Now you also do have a manually tilting and telescoping steering wheel. Pretty nice range of adjustment, I have to say. Very nice. Now, unlike classic Dodge Chargers, the latest model brings more to the table than just strong acceleration. Its supple suspension calmly soaks up rough pavement, although opting for the 20-inch wheels like how we have here will result in a firmer ride. Meanwhile, the Charger's noise insulation and high-speed stability are beyond reproach. In corners, body motions are admirably well controlled, though you'll want one of the sportier models for maximum fun. Overall, if you need a large sedan in this price range, you'll be hard-pressed to find one that's as rewarding to drive as the 2015 Dodge Charger. So overall, it's a very nicely updated cabin here. And let's go ahead and shut it down. Let's go ahead and check out the rest of the vehicle, including the rear seat passenger space as well as the trunk space. Of course, build quality and materials do follow through in the rear. Soft touch armrests, mid door panel, and upper door panel. I think Chrysler's done with their hard plastics on their interiors. Now, if you're comparing this vehicle to other full-size sedans such as the Toyota Avalon and Chevrolet Impala, the Dodge Charger is going to have less rear seat legroom. Now, it's not tight back here, but it's more has the space of a mid-size sedan. However, it's still pretty wide overall. Now, one bad thing is that you also have this pretty large tunnel right here. That's because this vehicle is rear-wheel drive. Now you do have a rear center armrest with cup holders and a storage compartment. Now, this vehicle, if two people are sitting in the rear, it's going to be less tight than 3 people. And I am talking about full-size adults. If you have 3 full-size adults back here, it's definitely going to be pretty tight. Now, back here you have rear air vents and then also heated seats and 2 USB ports. So they didn't skip out on the luxury for the rear passengers. And then you also do have dual map pockets too, of course. Alright. Now, trunk space is pretty big in the Charger. The seats also do fold down, 60-40 split in the rear. And when you open up the trunk opens all the way up, not just a little bit or halfway. It is a pretty large trunk lid too. Full power passenger seat with power recline and power lumbar. You also have your Charger logo right there. Your glove box, nice and damped and lined with felt too. Alrighty. So its dashing looks and power, an upscale interior, and a relatively affordable price round out this modern take on the classic muscle car. So remember that this is Cameron Birch from Cameron's Car Reviews.